Hey, Joe, what do you got for us tonight?
Tonight is the annual Dawn of Mantis Christmas special for 2025. We're going to examine 3 tragic events that have occurred on Christmas Day throughout the years, along with one mystery that has endured for over 100 years. And of course, we'll do our best to sprinkle in a little comedy and holiday cheer amongst the mystery and mayhem. So, pour yourself a glass of eggnog, throw another log on the fire, put in those earbuds to drown out the in-laws, and have yourself a very Mantis Christmas. Quiet your mind. Ho, 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 ho.
Ever since the Earth has circled the Sun, there have been fantastic tales of wonder and mystery that the faint of heart dare not discuss. But 3 brave, uninformed souls have the brass to tackle every extraordinary happenstance, from the modern age to the dawn of Mantis.
Welcome to Dawn of Mantis, true crime, mysteries, and more. I'm Ivan with Joe and Sam. Hey, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Hey, wait, I think I heard a new voice on that Merry Christmas. Didn't I, Joe?
There's the smooth tones of a female voice in the studio tonight. And they belong to Ashley. Hello, Ashley.
Hello.
See there? You need to read audiobooks.
One of her dream jobs is being the voice that you hear in Lowe's.
Assistance needed in plumbing.
Oh, my
that
Lord.
is amazing.
You've got the job in my book. That's great.
But I mean, once you record those few lines, is it just like the shortest hiring period possible? I mean, it's like...
Then I just sit back and get paid.
Royalties, baby.
Yeah.
Her other dream job is one you wouldn't hear, but you would see. It's how do you describe that?
A sign language interpreter for rap shows.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You got to be careful. They get pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I went to an Ed Sheeran show, and the interpreter just gave up on one of his songs where he talked so fast, she
Yeah.
would just like, she put up her hands like it was at the Elton John thing.
Have you brushed up on all your gang signs?
Oh, well, step 1, learn sign language.
Okay.
And then I have to go to...
I picture having some Thug Life glasses on during this whole thing. That would be amazing.
You know, I think you should take over for Delilah when she finally retires.
Like for her voice or for sign language?
No, for her voice.
Oh, yeah?
That way people can call in and, yeah, you know, I'm having problems with my boyfriend. Then she can like...
That would be amazing because she loves tea.
I do love
See?
tea. And I love Delilah.
See? It's perfect. You could be the next one. If she ever retires, she's been doing that for 130 years.
I know.
And she still looks young. I don't think she's real. I don't know. She might be a vampire or something, but right?
And then she always picks the song for the person. She always does, because he loved me. If she
Always
picks,
Celine.
it's always that one.
Which
And I love
Ashley loves
Celine.
Celine.
Yeah. It's not a bad song. It's not as good as the Titanic one, but you know what? It's all right. It's an okay track.
So really quickly, I was listening to Delilah just a few nights ago in the truck as I was driving home, and a woman called in, a girl, she was 19 and a half, and she said that she was about to give birth. It was a tearful thing, and she felt awful because her life was nowhere in the shape it needed to be to care for a baby, so she had already signed the baby away to her aunt. And it was like this really heartfelt thing, and Delilah was like, well, you know, you're doing the best thing for your baby that you can. She's going to have a great life. And then when they faded out of that, I swear to God, you know what started? Bum, 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 Frosty the Snowman.
It wasn't Celine Dion. That would be a perfect place.
No, it was just the old-fashioned Bing Crosby or whoever, Frosty the Snowman. And I was like, that's a weird transition.
It should have been My Heart Goes
Yeah.
On. That would be a perfect thing.
No. It was that. As soon as she got done talking, it was, you know, the bass. Boom, boom, boom. Frosty Snowman.
That's crazy.
Anyway, yeah. That was not the best choice, Delilah.
You missed that.
No,
one,
probably
Delilah.
not. Probably not.
I probably shouldn't have that job. I just tell them all to bring me the babies. And then Sam would...
It's true. She has 100 kids.
Yeah.
Now, every time we do the podcast, you hear like crying and rattles, and it's like a madhouse around here. You'd love that, wouldn't you, Sam? Mm-mm. Okay, so... So we're going to talk about some horrible, horrific events that have happened on Christmas Day or around Christmas Day
What a
throughout the years.
segue.
Yeah, there we go.
You know, I didn't know how Frosty Christmas disasters.
Delilah.
I've got nothing, yeah. The first one we're going to talk about is known as Cyclone Tracy.
Oh, who's that?
Oh, I think I dated her in high school. Because you know what cyclones do, huh? They cause lots of property damage. No.
And damage to my heart.
It gets that took years to recover from. She was very precipitous. I was going to say something way worse, but all right. In mid-December of 1974, is it too early just to go right into the...
No, go for it.
Take the high road. It's Christmas.
In mid-December of 1974, a tropical storm formed in the Arafura. Ken, call us. I'm sure you know everything about your entire...
I'll refer to Ken on that one.
That's great, man. The Arafura Sea, about 200 miles off the coast of Australia's Northern Territory. It continued to gain strength as it moved slowly westward toward the coastline, and by December 21st, it had developed into a Category 4 tropical cyclone. That's Category 4 on the Australian scale. I don't know how that compares to ours.
Well, with inflation, you never know.
The storm was very powerful, but also unusually compact and small. Its destructive core was only about 30 miles wide, which sounds pretty big to me, but maybe that's small for a hurricane. By the way, they just call hurricanes cyclones over there if anyone's like, because I hear cyclone over here, I think about tornado. Right? Right?
Yeah.
It's a cyclone. I don't know. Right?
I think about that ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
Does some place have a cyclone?
I always think about the Ray Stevens song, The Blue Cyclone.
Oh, yeah.
He's the meanest wrestler the ring has ever known.
That's right. That's been a minute, man. Trip down memory lane.
Nerd alert. No, I'm just kidding.
You like Ray Stevens.
I know. I thought about it too. So, yeah, on the evening of the 21st, the Darwin Meteorological Office, that's a big old city in Australia for all that don't know.
Sure.
And they don't believe in evolution. Or wait, they do believe in evolution.
The Darwin Initiative?
Yeah. Is that what that is?
I don't know.
They believe in evolution is all I know. I wonder if it was named after that
Charles
guy.
Darwin?
It was.
Yeah, it was?
I'm sure it was.
I wonder if there's any churches in Darwin.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a legitimate question. All right, anyway. The Darwin Meteorological Office received an infrared satellite image from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration satellite, showing that the spiraling clouds could be observed. That was a mouthful. The storm was officially pronounced a tropical cyclone at around 10 p.m. on 21st of December, when it was around 125 miles northeast of Cape Dawn.
That's when they were like, I'm dreaming of a windy Christmas. Because they knew that thing was coming.
Yeah, but they ignored it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
No one really took it seriously.
Uh-oh.
As in America with hurricanes, the Aussies also named their cyclones, and of course this one was known as Cyclone Tracy.
Okay.
Tracy was being tracked by Darwin Weather Bureau's regional director, Ray Wilkie, and by senior meteorologist Jeff Crane. Originally, they predicted the storm would either weaken or bypass the city of Darwin, and there was no reason to worry. A broadcast on Australia's ABC radio station reassured people that the storm posed no immediate danger. However, early on Christmas Eve morning, Tracy made an abrupt and unexpected turn south and then southwest directly towards the city of Darwin.
Women can be unpredictable.
They are fickle beasts, are they not? Sorry. I forgot there's one sitting right here. Oh, shit.
Normally we say whatever we want. Now it's like, uh-oh. After I said that, I was like, uh-oh. In a good way.
No, y'all have power. It's so weird. Okay, I won't say anything what it was about, but a couple weeks ago, Ivan and I were about to head up to the podcast, and Sam just sent me and him a text that said, Ashley wants to speak with you guys.
I think I said, Ashley's got a question for you.
Is that what it was?
That was enough to make us think, oh, no.
Anytime, I don't care if it's my wife, if any woman's like, we need to talk or I have a question, I'm just like, I just get scared shitless.
Y'all were squirming for nothing.
We were.
I was like, I'm going to let them stew on that for a while.
It was intimidating. And I even texted back like, hopefully she's not mad. It was like probing to...
I was just afraid I said something I didn't remember saying. Because you get caught up. You said that. I'm like, oh, I did? Yeah, it's recorded.
Yeah, I did not. Oh, I did.
Well, let me play the clip.
Yeah.
That's AI.
It's just weird, yeah. So anytime, I don't know if other guys feel like this, anytime Jess can just text and be like, hey, we need to talk when you have a minute. I'm just like, oh, God, what happened? I haven't done anything. I know that. I haven't done shit. I haven't done anything. And I'll come in and she'll be like, what are we going to get the girls for Christmas? And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. And maybe that's just me that feels that way, but.
No, well, My wife doesn't do that. She doesn't. If she's going to talk, she's just going to talk. Like,
Yeah.
she won't say, we got to talk when you have a minute. Like,
Catches you off
no,
guard.
the minute's now.
Yeah. Do it now. I want to know now.
Yeah.
I haven't done anything.
The worst thing is the anticipation,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's the best and the worst thing.
Yep. Frankenfurter said that himself. At that time, around 9 a.m., the weather station at Cape Fourcroy measured wind speeds of 75 miles an hour, but that number was about to double in the following hours.
That's nothing to sneeze at, though.
No, not even that. Yeah. At that time, a warning was sent out to the residents of Darwin, but hardly anyone took notice. Just 2 weeks prior, Cyclone Selma approached on a similar path, and warnings had been sent out. However, that storm ended up turning north and quickly dissipating. Based on that, many Darwinians had a rather blasé attitude towards Tracy.
And they're all named after women? All right, we just got 2 for 2.
I don't know. Maybe they're all women. I don't know.
Like, what? We're just going to name all these after women.
Well, they're all like
things that tear up the place.
First they suck, then they blow, then they take your house away.
Oh,
That's why they're named after women.
Joe's been hanging out at the gas station with the old timer.
No, that's actually an old joke I heard forever ago. Why do they call?
I know. That's like an old guy joke.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like it, though. I'm nostalgic for old guy jokes like that because I'm becoming an old guy.
Not true.
every
I
day.
don't believe that, actually. But it is funny, but I don't believe it. Okay. Instead of evacuating or taking any precautions, most people just continued preparing for the Christmas day. It was following day, right? This was Christmas Eve. So the storm blew into Darwin around 10 p.m. on Christmas Eve night, and by midnight had already begun doing serious damage to the city. Tracy pounded Darwin all night long.
You wrote that on
wait a
purpose.
second. That's in his
You wrote
notes.
those words on purpose.
Imagine Santa Claus visiting all those houses at that time. That would be tough, getting down those chimneys with all that wind
While they're getting pounded.
while they're getting pounded.
Yeah.
Okay. So Cyclone Tracy, how else would I say? It hovered over Darwin all night.
That works.
Okay. And by 3:30 a.m., the storm's eye was directly over the city. Just after 3 a.m., the storm's winds were so strong that they destroyed the Weather Bureau's anemometer. However, wind gusts were still estimated at 150 miles per hour. At 6:30 a.m., the storm began to weaken, and within 2 more hours, the rain finally ceased, and the skies began to clear. Tracy left behind an unimaginable level of destruction in her wake. Her winds had leveled most structures. She'd produced 10 inches of rain. Over 80% of the city had been destroyed. Only a fraction of the remaining homes were livable. Most of its infrastructure, like roads, power lines, water, and sanitary systems, had been destroyed or badly damaged. At the Darwin airport, more than 30 planes were destroyed and another 25 badly damaged. 30,000 of Darwin's 43,000 residents were left homeless and 66 people were killed. The cost of the damage was approximately $837 million, which is almost $6 billion in today's money.
$6 billion, really?
Yeah, for sure.
What?
Yeah, I wasn't even joking.
Oh, I thought you were just throwing out a random.
Yeah.
What year was it?
74.
You wouldn't think it'd be that much.
Inflation, man. When I first got my driver's license in 96, gas was like 89 cents a gallon.
Yeah.
I just told
It's
somebody a
true.
story the other day how we ran around and gas was 89 cents a gallon.
Yep. Speaking
I do
of, like,
remember that.
sounding like an old American in my day.
Yeah. Because we were
Petrol-
talking about how we used to dirt road all the time.
Mhm.
And that's what we did for fun.
Yeah, I remember filling up the tank, the big ass tank on a 74 Ford Ranchero cost me like $20.
Yeah.
You know, I'd be like, God dang, a 20 spot to fill my tank. What's happening to the world? Sorry, but it's just crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. I never fill up my tank anymore.
Yeah, you're balling.
I just don't want to see the number.
These days, if you're filling your tank, you're a baller. Like, if I was a single lady and I wanted to get with a guy that I knew was financially secure, I'd hide out at the gas station. I would look at the thing and I would see whoever filled their tank. I would just walk up and be like, hey, there, handsome, or whatever.
That guy
whatever.
got $10. What a loser. It's not worth my time. I don't want no scrub.
A scrub is a guy who leaves his gas tank empty. All right. That's what I would do. Or I would go to Lowe's because, you know, if you're in Lowe's, you probably own a home. I would see a guy that was buying things to like, and I would just start a conversation like, are you remodeling or
It's
something?
not a safe bet. People are just charging things on cards. They
That's
don't have
true.
the money that everyone thinks they have.
That's true.
Find somebody without a credit card. Then you know they're actually stable.
Can I? Well, since you said that, this is a legitimate question. I don't think I've brought this up before. Really quick, we'll get this out of the way. How is and I love my country. I'm a nationalist guy. I like America, right? I like it here. I'm not one of these people that's like, America was fair. Oh, it sucks. Everything's terrible. I actually like it. But how are we known as the richest country in the world when we're like $80 gajillion in debt?
Well, some of that's to ourselves, and you can talk about that for a long time. But we are to other countries, and we are, that's a great question.
But if I because
no matter if you're a Democrat or a Republican, you spend more than what we have. That's how.
Right. Okay.
Because they just do stupid stuff, all of them.
We don't have any debt, right? Like we paid off all our debt. We don't have any credit cards or anything. And so like whatever we have is what we have. And sometimes we're broke and that sucks, but I'm not, at least I'm even broke. Sure. I'm not broke. Plus I owe all this other shit, right?
Yeah.
So let's say a guy named Bob lives next to me and he's got a giant house and he's got a pool and he's got 4 or 5 cars and a boat, but it's all indebted and he's like, $2 million in debt. Is Bob really richer than me?
If you have houses, at least it's low interest rate. The big deal is the credit cards.
Yeah.
If you're getting the stuff at like 30% interest, that's when you're definitely not rich.
Yeah. It's just a question of like, if this guy has all this stuff, but none of it's actually his because he's paying out everything, it's all indebted.
Sure.
Is he richer than the guy next door that all he's got is like an old truck and a little smaller house and, they're not extravagant, but everything's paid off? Who's richer? That's like a legitimate question.
Some people are so poor, all they have is money. I don't know. That's my quote again.
Okay.
I don't know
Who
an
has
answer
more
to the
love?
question.
There you
That's
go.
right. Without love.
That's right. You're measuring richness by the wrong metric, aren't we, Ashley?
That's right.
There we go. And that's why you need to be the new Delilah. Right there. Because you need to measure in love. And then you would play like a Mariah Carey song or something.
Yeah,
and if you can't get the
I would.
Delilah job, I think you should do the Lowe's thing, but throw in some Delilah stuff. After they need help on the aisle, you should say something like, love the people around you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do that.
And that's all for me from the lumberyard.
Throw out something, and I guarantee it would apply to someone. Just be like, help needed in plumbing aisle number 6, and don't cheat on your wife.
Would all
That's
the
a little
single
direct.
people please meet in plumbing?
Oh, you're playing matchmaker.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. See, I think that'd be amazing.
And I need all the men from the garden center to come to plumbing. I notice a lot of lonely souls out there.
Now mingle.
Yeah. Now look at fittings together.
I love looking at fittings with a lady.
Or if you prefer, there's hose in the gardening section.
Oh, there's also hose in the plumbing section. Oh, that's our connection. That's how we're together. Hey, I like hose. Me too.
Everyone likes hose.
I know hose.
Would all the hoes please meet in the garden section?
Go to Lowe's for your hose. That's the new motto. And I mean garden hose. Don't let your mind wander.
Oh, okay.
All your hose needs.
So, the Australian government launched a massive campaign to rebuild Darwin, and by 1980, most of the city had been rebuilt to its former capacity. However, since the damage had been so extensive, pre-1974 Darwin and post-1974 Darwin are pretty much entirely different cities.
I guess that's the billion. That makes sense. They had to rebuild the whole city.
They did. And it's
Wow.
weird because seeing it. I looked up pictures of Darwin. It'll say like whatever street 74 pre and post, and it is. They just rebuilt the whole damn thing. It's pretty crazy.
Wow.
So yeah, that's the first horrific tragedy to befall a Christmas day. But I think what it's time right now for, lady and gentlemen, is a word from our sponsor. And this is a little something we put a lot of love and care into, a lot of holiday spirit. And we hope you all enjoy it, and we hope you want to order it to play in your home.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Quiet your mind.
Have you ever wanted to combine the warm and cozy feeling of holiday cheer with the cold and unforgiving world of true crime? Well, now you can, thanks to the Dawn of Mantis podcast Christmas album, A Very Mantis Christmas. We've painstakingly recreated several of your favorite holiday songs to include elements of mystery and murder, such as White Christmas. I'm wiping off my fingerprints from the crime scene that I just just made. So the cops won't discover I murdered my lover and dumped her body in the bay. Joy to the world. Don't join a cult and drink the punch, 'cause you will probably die if someone says that they are God. You can bet they're probably not. You can bet they're probably not. I can almost assure you that they are not. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Have yourself a solid alibi, 'cause police will ask, where were you when your spouse drowned in the bath? And of course, Frosty the Snowman. Get rid of pardons, 'cause they drive Ivan insane. And they circumvent the court process and make the whole damn trial a waste. So dial 417-4-MANTIS to order your copy of A Very Mantis Christmas for just 3 easy installments of $19.95. And if you order within the next 10 minutes, we'll also include our nursery rhyme album, Mantis Crime Rhymes, for free. It includes altered renditions of classic children's songs such as Mary Had a Little Alibi, Jack and Jill Went Up the Hillside Strangler, Ring Around the Evidence Chain, and Ba Ba Black Sheep, Have You Any Clues? So pick up the phone and order now. So the next horrific tragedy we're going to be talking about tonight that's Christmas-related, happened on Christmas, was the 1914 tornado outbreak. In the days leading up to Christmas Day of 1914, an unseasonably warm air mass moved northward from the Gulf of Mexico into the deep south area of the United States. At that same time, a developing low-pressure system traveled eastward across the southern plains into the lower Mississippi Valley. The combination of a warm surface temperature, high humidity, and approaching cold front created unstable atmospheric conditions. In other words, the perfect recipe for severe thunderstorms and tornadoes. During the early morning hours of December 25th, scattered thunderstorms developed across parts of Mississippi and Alabama. These storms initially only produced heavy rain and strong winds, but as the morning progressed, it began to increase in strength. The first documented tornado of the outbreak touched down in southeastern Mississippi. This tornado produced damage to homes, barns, and chicken houses, but since the area was so sparsely populated, the number of reported casualties was small. As the cold front advanced, additional rotating storms formed along its leading edge. By midday, the strengthening low-pressure system deepened and shifted eastward, pushing a band of powerful thunderstorms toward Georgia. By early afternoon, a stronger and more destructive tornado formed near the Georgia-Alabama state line, moving east-northeast. This tornado struck several farm communities outside the city of Columbus, Georgia, destroying homes, barns, and outbuildings. Several injuries were reported, and at least one fatality occurred as homes were swept right off their foundations. Shortly afterward, another tornado developed farther east in central Georgia, impacting areas near Macon. Isn't it Macon?
Yeah.
Macon, Georgia. Macon. This tornado caused significant damage to wooden homes and tenant houses, and at least one fatality was reported, along with several more injuries. During the mid-afternoon hours, the most damaging tornado of the outbreak touched down in southwestern Georgia, cutting a long path through Randolph, Calhoun, and Terrell counties.
Almost Rudolph. Bringing the Christmas back.
Close enough. Accounts described homes blown to splinters and large areas of timber completely flattened. This tornado produced the highest known death toll of the outbreak, with several people killed and dozens injured. By late afternoon, the line of storms continued eastward, and yet more tornadoes were reported in eastern Georgia near Augusta. These storms were a bit weaker, but still caused structural damage and uprooted trees. After sunset, the low-pressure system moved off the Atlantic coast, and the atmospheric instability diminished. By Christmas night, the devastating storms were finally gone. In total, the 1914 Christmas Day tornado outbreak produced multiple tornadoes across Mississippi, Alabama, and especially Georgia, resulting in 21 fatalities and well over 100 injuries and thousands of dollars worth of property damage. The 1914 tornado outbreak remains one of the most destructive Christmas Day disasters in the early historical record.
Did you read what the high temperatures were that day? I would imagine they were probably in the 80s.
No.
Because that's what normally sets it up, you know.
Yeah.
You get the heat and then the cold comes through and that combination.
Yeah, didn't it say something about abnormally warm surface temperatures?
Yeah.
So I know on Christmas Day of 1980, that's the year I was born. Well, I'm not going to say it again. Which was 8 months after I was born. The high that day was in the 80s. Because my dad told me that, like, yeah, the kids were out playing, touch football out in the yard on Christmas Day in shorts and stuff. It was crazy. So that happens sometimes. So the next one is the last disaster that we have to cover, and then we're going to cover a mystery after that. But this is by far the worst disaster. It's the Babs Switch school fire, and this one happened in Oklahoma.
Okay. Before you get into that, when did the one in Cincinnati happen? Wasn't that on Christmas
New Year's Day?
Or was it New Year's Day?
It was New Year's Day.
New Year's Day, yeah.
It was one or the other. I just couldn't remember which one it was.
Again, the super high temperature that day, I think it was like 82 or something like that.
Was that 2012 or something around in there?
Somewhere in there. I was living in
Sounds right.
Rome.
That sounds right, yeah.
The house I grew up in, the house I was raised in, had the roof caved in by some big round bales.
Wasn't that the one where there was a guy like running down the road in his like underwear or something when the emergency vehicles were coming? And he was just disoriented, though, right?
I think he'd been like sucked out of his trailer house.
Yeah. So, I know this guy. So he got in a fight with his wife that night and she left.
I forgot you knew him. Yeah.
Yeah.
really?
This is how you know the story probably. He got in a fight with his wife and she left with the son to sleep at grandma's or whatever. And he went to bed with just his underwear on and he woke up across the road and down the road. So he said he just set up in a field and he was just like sitting there, not a scratch on the guy. And he said he just didn't know what else to do. So he started just running down the road.
I just felt like running.
And so the emergency crews thought that he was just like somebody to run up to help.
Oh.
Because he was running towards the destruction.
Oh, and it was his property.
Yeah, and he had to tell him, like, no, that was my house over there. It's craziness.
Yeah.
I just wonder, like, if you could witness it. Like, how did his body, like, fly around without...
I'd take the booty hole troll any day over that.
Throw back a couple episodes.
Real quick, thankfully, him and his wife got in an argument and her and the kid wasn't there.
Sure, yeah. Because it was a big old house. I mean, I'm sure somebody probably would have died.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then there was another guy that was out in his milk barn milking cows because it was early in the morning.
Sure.
And he got sucked out of the milk barn. He lived too, didn't he? And landed, or did he die?
No, that guy died. So, like, he pushed his son down
into
a lower part.
Yeah.
And right after he did that, he was, like, killed.
Wow.
Yeah. So it saved his son's life. The guy was, like, in his 80s.
That's just wild when that something like that hits your hometown.
Yeah.
They had a metal building that was like a volunteer fire station, and all their trucks were underneath all the. So that's one thing they did. A guy brought a tractor with a front end loader, and they harvested the trucks so they could get the trucks out. Obviously, everyone responded. I mean, you talk about it. I mean, even from way up here, they were fire trucks from everywhere. But yeah, amazing.
But the Cincinnati Mall was not touched.
It was not.
By
and
golly,
it's still to this day.
Yeah, it's still there.
Yep, it's still there. So let's talk about the Babs Switch school fire.
Let's do it.
This took place in the tiny community of Babs Switch. Obviously, that's located in Kiowa County, Oklahoma. This is way out in the southwestern part of the state, just a few miles from the Texas border. On December 24th, 1924, the community held its annual Christmas Eve celebration at the local schoolhouse. Now, back in those days, that meant a small one-room building with a blackboard up front, right? The schoolhouse was just probably about as big as the studio we're sitting in, one room. The room had been decorated with a Christmas tree, obviously, and that tree, as well as the rest of the room, had been decorated with lit candles.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, because there's no better combination than dry pine needles and fire. As dangerous as that may sound, it was common practice at the time. You know, the rest of the room, by the way, was illuminated with gas lanterns.
Right.
Full of kerosene. And I'm telling you, like when I lived at the Siloam house that was surrounded by pine trees, anytime we had to start, I'm telling you, like really dry pine needles, they go up like they're soaked in gas. I mean, you do one spark and it's like, it's crazy how those things burn.
Yeah, pine needles are what you use if you're in a survival situation. That and like cedar bark.
Yep.
You start a good fire with that.
And I'm not saying the tree was old and dead and dry, but even so, you know, even like a regular halfway alive pine that you didn't cut down that long ago, it's going to go up pretty fast.
Sure.
By early evening, about 200 kids, parents, and community members had gathered inside the schoolhouse, far more than its capacity. The event kicked off around 8 p.m. and began with Christmas songs, recitations, and the giveaway of a few small gifts. All the while, the Christmas tree stood prominently in the center of the room, beautifully lit by all those candles. At some point during the program, one of them ignited the dry branches and the tree practically burst into flames. The room had recently been painted with a fresh coat of oil-based paint.
Oh,
gosh.
Listen, every bad thing that could have happened that we're about to read, if you can imagine it, that was the case.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, but what if anything that's flammable or horrific?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Within seconds, the fire climbed up the tree and reached the freshly painted ceiling, which caught fire nearly as fast as the pine needles had. To make things much, much worse, the school building only had one entrance, which opened inward. And all the windows were equipped. So here's the deal. Not long before this, the school had been broken into and vandalized. So they had screwed metal screens on the outside of the windows to keep people out, but that also kept people in.
Yeah.
So panic spread as the room filled with smoke. Of course, everyone bolted for the front door, but the crowd pressing up against it made it nearly impossible to open. The inward swinging door frame became jammed by the pressure of bodies attempting to flee. Meanwhile, the rest of the school's interior had ignited. The entire room was now full of unbearable heat from the flames and near zero visibility from the thick smoke. People near the windows attempted to escape, but because of those metal screens, they were screwed directly to the wooden frame. It was almost impossible to get through. Only a few people managed to tear through the screens before the flames overtook the room. Those on the outside tried to pull people through the door and break the window screens, but the fire was too intense. Within minutes, the structure was fully engulfed. Despite efforts from nearby farmers and family members, the fire overwhelmed the building before hardly anyone was rescued. The wooden building collapsed less than 30 minutes after the fire began. The Babs Switch fire remains one of the deadliest school fires in American history. In total, 36 people died, including many children, and dozens more were injured. So I just brought the room way down.
I'm not saying anything about that. I got no jokes.
Yeah.
Zero. There's no bad guy to joke about.
No, that just sucks. So we're going to pull a really interesting mystery out of that.
Okay.
The next portion of this is called The Missing Mary, okay? Soon the tragic event that occurred that day would also produce another tragedy, this time in the form of a mystery. One child, 3-year-old Mary Elizabeth Edens, was reported missing after the blaze, and she has not been seen again or found to this day. At first, one may assume that she was lost in the fire, and her remains were burned beyond recognition. However, her aunt, Alice Noah, who escaped from the building but died several days later, swore that she had carried Mary out of the building and handed her to someone in the crowd standing outside. Mary's parents, Louis and Ethel Edens, believed Alice, and they pled with whoever had taken their daughter to bring her back. And there's going to be a big discussion about, was she correct? Did she really do that? Or was she burned so badly, that she had a false memory? Or anyway, we'll get into those. Strangely, over the following years, several women came forward claiming to be the missing Mary Edens. However, after an initial flurry of excitement and media attention, which is probably what they were after, blood tests would eventually rule them out.
You are not the Mary.
They go to Maury about Mary?
Yeah, they did. They did.
So then in the fall of 1956, 32 years after the fire, a man named Elmont Place read, that sounds like something on a Monopoly board, but
it does.
Elmont Place.
That's a good property to have.
He read an article on the Babs Switch fire and wrote a letter to the acquaintance of the Edens about a possible match. This is a little bit weird, but Mr. Place said he had a friend who had confided in him that she never felt at home with her family and thought that she may have another past. Her name was Grace Reynolds, and he wondered if this friend could be the missing Mary. Over the following days, Mary's photos were compared to Grace's baby photos, and supposedly they resembled each other. It was also said that Mary and Grace both had a matching scar on the arch of their left foot. Blood tests were even ran, but did not prove or disprove. I don't know what that means, but they couldn't rule her out with the blood test.
Okay.
However, it appeared that Lewis and Ethel accepted that Grace was their long-lost daughter. Although Grace Reynolds said she had no memory of anything up until 6 years old, she seemed to be convinced that she was Mary Elizabeth Edens. The Edens even had an on-camera reunion on an episode of Art Linkletter's House Party that aired on February 10th, 1957. It was a beautiful end to an initially tragic story.
So it's true?
No. Or was it? Dun, dun, dun.
I was going to say, and I'll defend myself, and at the end of my true, there was a question mark there. You could tell I kind of went up with it.
Yeah, I didn't get you. I thought you were just going to be like, sounds good, Joe. I was like,
no,
it's not. Okay. Questions concerning the validity of Grace's identity soon arose. A woman named Dorothy Link saw an Associated Press picture of the newly found Mary Elizabeth and claimed that Elizabeth Edens was most certainly not her, or she was not the other. They were not each other.
By pictures?
Well, so this woman that called in, this Grace Reynolds, was her sister.
Oh, okay.
So Ransom Hancock, owner of the Hobart Democrat Chief newspaper, quickly tracked down the mother, who was a woman named Goldie Thomas, and on May 16th, 1957, she signed a notarized statement that read, quote, Grace Leona Reynolds is my lawful daughter. She was born July 11th, 1923, on a farm near Cotton Plant, Arkansas. And then she also had documentation and stuff to prove that Grace was an imposter.
So why'd she do it?
That's a good question. And why did the guy, I think it was a whole setup to begin with. The guy that called in is like, hey, I got a friend that, just feels lost and maybe she's her. Doesn't that seem a little weird and like set up-ish? The true story was that about 10 years before the reunion, Grace had begun telling people that she had no family. Her reason for this, according to her, she was trying to get hired at a high-end department store and seemed to believe that she'd be less likely to land that job if people knew she'd come from a poor family. And I don't know how the politics or I don't know how shit worked in the 50s.
We don't hire anyone from poor families.
Maybe so. I don't know. I don't know what the
you got to be rich
like.
to get this job. Well, then I don't need it.
That's a good point. I come from a filthy rich family. Why are you here? I just want to stand and ask people if they want to try this new perfume all day. I don't know.
I want to work for fun.
But what angered her sister Dorothy is that Grace's claims that she was the missing Mary, if you think about it, that meant that their mother Goldie was a kidnapper.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, the logistics of that, that's what I was going to ask you earlier.
Yeah, and she was not, according to the sister. With this new information and fairly ironclad evidence that Grace Reynolds was an imposter, Hancock presented the case to Mary's father. Obviously, Mr. Edens was disappointed to learn Grace Reynolds was not his long-lost daughter. Still, he thanked Hancock for showing him the truth, and then he asked a favor. This is where it gets crazy. Well, it's been crazy. This isn't even the craziest. Ethel had taken Mary's disappearance incredibly hard, and Lewis was afraid she would not be able to mentally or psychologically handle losing her daughter a second time. So he asked Hancock not to print what surely would have been an explosive story. In a bold move of journalistic integrity that is virtually absent today, Ransom Hancock decided to honor the request. He sat on the story. He did not print it. Now, there's some questions there. From what I gathered, everyone else in the family but Ethel did find out about Grace. Here's my questions. You guys probably have questions. Was Grace still allowed to come to family gatherings? Did everyone just pretend that she was still Mary for the sake of Ethel? How did that work out? I never saw anything concerning that. I just was, how'd that work? Everyone in the family but Mom knows that this bitch is an imposter. So do you just play along? Oh, Grace brought her deviled eggs to Christmas again. They're so good. And then they're just like, that bitch, that treasonous bitch. How'd that work?
It's not like families to want to lie to their family members. Ho, 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 the whole time. So, I don't know. I don't think I'd want to live a lie. I mean, that's pretty rough. She'll feel better if we all lied to her.
Right?
I mean, I get the sentiment, but I don't know, man.
I guess families do that a lot.
You're being scammed this whole time.
Yeah.
I get it, but it's still a scam. You're letting her be scammed.
But I've seen that before. Everybody just plays it nice on Christmas and nobody tells grandma that Jake's been on meth for 2 years because it would break her heart. We just hope Jake can hold it together long enough at the dinner to not give it away. And then he leaves and then grandma's happy for another year. I mean, have you not seen similar things play out?
Yeah, but I just the
What if
the reference is funny.
Grandpa's old-fashioned and Toby's gay, but, Toby doesn't want his grandfather to hate his guts because he's a crotchety old bastard with a narrow mind. So everyone pretends, I've literally seen this play out. So everyone pretends, everything's fine. And Toby's, Grandpa's like, you been dating Toby? And he's like, oh, you bet, Grandpa. Sure. Oh, I bet you're a lady killer, huh? Sure thing, Grandpa. Pass the mashed potatoes, and then he can go live his normal life.
It's just an extreme example, though. I mean, you're just not mentioning things versus just lying.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I get what you're saying. Yeah. I mean, it's valid. But still, it's an imaginary person. It is. It seems more extreme to me.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, families do it all the time. I don't want to lie to. I'll tell you right now. Tell me the truth, fam. This isn't your real kid.
Unless Grandma specifically asked, Jake, are you on meth? Right in the middle of dinner.
I mean, yeah, somebody has. Yeah, he is, Grandma. He is.
He is right now.
Look at him. He was 92 pounds.
He doesn't have teeth, Grandma, and he's 31. What did you think?
And look, he's taking the DVD player. What more proof do you need? Open your eyes.
He's pulling the copper wiring out of your walls, Grandma. There you go.
I just thought this light went out on its own.
True story. I swear to God, years ago, a meth head once told me that he couldn't drink dark pop because it gave him the jitters. And I think about that almost every day.
I had one tell me that, the millions of sores on their arms, that's not due to the meth.
Oh.
That's an effect that comes from the fact that you took meth, but not directly linked to the meth. That's what the dude told me.
It made sense to him.
Oh, so it's not the meth. It's an effect of the meth. I see.
It's not the meth.
I see what you're doing.
You see, the meth makes me pick my arms, so it's my fingernails that really do it. It's not the meth.
It's more of a me problem.
I just got to work on myself.
Yeah, I do.
While doing meth.
I just got to let them sores heal. Much like my inner turmoil. That went deep, didn't it? Wow. Which is the whole reason you do it in the first place. Trauma is the ultimate gateway drug, ladies and gentlemen. I'll say it on the podcast right now.
Sometimes you put meth on it, sometimes heroin, sometimes alcohol, sometimes sex, sometimes gambling. It could be all kinds of stuff, y'all. Get help. 4174-MANTIS. I don't know what we're going to do.
No, we don't call us. Ignore. Abort. Yeah, call the Lowe's lady.
Call Ashley.
She'll tell you that you need help on hardware and some other
private
things.
number at the end of the episode.
We'll heal your inner child.
4174-ASHLEY. That's her number.
I love it.
Wait, would that even be enough?
Yeah, it would be.
Is
it's
it?
It's still MANTIS.
That's crazy.
LEY.
Wow.
Nice.
It couldn't have worked out
Make you a
better.
Google number. I was just going to slide in. Hey, any meth user listeners we got out there, we appreciate you.
We can't afford any listeners. And hey, please get help because we want you as a listener.
Yeah.
And there's somebody that wants you in their life. You may not think they do, but they do.
Yeah, we want you as a healthy listener.
That's right.
Who gets good night's sleep, at least 8 hours, 7.5 hours. Eat plenty of foods, don't do meth. If I could pass anything
the
on.
more you know.
And knowing is half the battle.
Okay. Shall I continue?
Go ahead.
So the pretending thing, Grace absolutely kept up the ruse because she wrote a book in 1980 titled Mary, Child of Tragedy, where she told her whole story about how she was married the rest of her life. In 1989, on the 75th anniversary of the Babs Switch school fire, and 42 years after the discovery that Grace was an imposter, Ransom Hancock's son, Joe, who was the current editor of the paper, decided to go ahead and publish the story. Mary Elizabeth's parents had both passed on, and her siblings already knew the truth. The story obviously caused quite a few questions for Grace Reynolds, but she did not waver. Grace continued to claim she was Mary Elizabeth until her death in April of 2008. Even then, she had Mary Elizabeth Eden's name and birth date chiseled on her tombstone.
Goodness.
So she wrote it out to the end. So what really happened to Mary Elizabeth Eden? Is it possible that her aunt was simply mistaken? She'd been badly burned in the fire and had nearly choked on the smoke. In that state, how accurate could her memory have been? Then there were 20 unidentified bodies discovered in the rubble, several of which were children? Is the entire story a simple case of an ant being mistaken and a body unidentified? Or did someone use the chaos of the fire to capitalize on the urge to kidnap a little girl? At this point, how would anyone ever know?
Yeah.
This is over 100 years ago. So
It didn't. I'm quite convinced it didn't happen.
So you think that the little girl was in the building and the ant was just so...
Yeah, I mean, people can't remember whenever there's nothing going on, much less a fire that you barely got out of. So, I mean, yeah.
True. So, yeah, let us know what you think on the socials or on the hotline or whatever. But
I will say it is sweet. It is sweet that they did that for her, but I just don't like that decision for me. But if it worked for them, that's totally fine. But she doesn't get to decide if she gets lied to or not. She just gets lied to.
Yeah.
That's the part I have a problem with, but it's traumatic. It's terrible.
Yeah. Well, that's the end of the Christmas episode. Ashley, thank you for sitting in with us again. She's like, I'm not talking anymore. She gave us 2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ashley gave a thumbs up.
Happy to be here.
There we go. That's what she officially said. She's like, Merry Christmas.
I guess what I can say is this Christmas Day, I'm thankful for you guys, all of you. Thankful for everything. Be thankful. I know it's not Thanksgiving, but you should be thankful on Christmas as well. I'm thankful for my job and my wife and my kids and you guys and the podcast and all that stuff. And just try to be a good person. Don't do meth. And really, that's all.
That's all. And that's where we'll end it this week. Ho, ho, ho. Don't do meth.
Don't have that white Christmas. Have a different. So I think it's only fitting that if it's okay with you guys, we close this episode out with the little Christmas song that we wrote ourselves a couple years ago.
No.
Okay.
Joe wrote it. Joe wrote it.
Joe wrote the whole thing.
Yes, he did.
Okay, I
and
wrote
that's
it.
true. That's not us just
I
covering.
think I played the music.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I just said here.
I wrote the song. But it's a wholesome song that hopefully finds its way into every school Christmas play.
Wholesome. You should stop
I
with
guess it
that.
is through the eyes of a child.
It is. It is. You got to listen to it in a non-perverted way. I don't know what you guys are getting out of it, but it's called, in my best Casey Kasem voice, I Caught Santa. Every single year on Christmas Eve night, I sneak downstairs and stay out of sight. Try to sneak a peek at all the presents my parents bought me. Every other year I've pulled it off, identified my presents and never got caught. But this year I saw something I can't unsee. I caught Santa clapping Mama's cheeks last night. His red velvet pants were down around his ankles. Lord, it was a terrible sight. He was puffing and a huffing and a pulling her by the hair. Well, Santa Claus sure is lucky my daddy wasn't there. I ran straight back up to my room, trying to process what I'd been through. And just a few minutes later, my daddy walked in. He said, son, it's time for bed, you better get ready. And that's when I noticed that he was pretty sweaty. I guess that he was working pretty hard before he walked in. I guess that he could tell that I was a mess. He asked me what was wrong and I confessed. I told him of the terrible thing that I just saw. Well, he just smiled and patted my shoulder, said, son, I'll explain it when you get older. I guess he didn't mind Santa banging Mama after all. I caught Santa clapping Mama's cheeks last night. His red velvet pants were down around his ankles. Lord, it was a terrible sight. He was puffing and a huffing and a pulling her by the hair. Well,
Well, Santa Claus sure is lucky my daddy wasn't there. I said, Santa Claus sure is lucky my daddy wasn't there.